Everybody, welcome to the special meeting for the.
Now we are. Now we are.
Okay. Welcome to the special meeting for the F.I.S.P committee. This is to go over the final presentation for the town meeting. All members are present except Marcia Collins and John Petro, I believe. Right?
John?
Pat Bell. Yeah. All right, so I think everybody, we go step by step over our presentation, make sure we have everything we want, and then we'll, that'll be it.
So obviously, just the first slide is the voter information slide. You know, again, we'll just leave that up at the beginning.
Yeah.
There's really no need to change that. This we can just touch on briefly. Again, I think the majority of the people have heard this, but just again, why we need to, the needs haven't changed. It's still the safety, security problems, the code violation, or the code compliance type things. Again, that's still there, just to reiterate the need for it, why we have to do
So on this slide, previous versions we've used at some of the sessions, we've taken out the information that's in the parentheses.
Yep.
So I think we should do that for town meeting,
Yeah.
because I think we should try to keep the slide as clean and open
Sure.
looking as possible.
I think one of the slides that accidentally got back in, and it was a couple presentations, it was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, also because Jay is much more effective when it appears that he's speaking extemporaneously.
Yeah.
Yes.
One thing we gotta talk about is when Tony and
And up above,
The one
too.
above.
John are gonna speak
Third bullet, yeah.
at the meeting.
Want to put a space in after based on?
See, those are like kind of ideal bullets now, because what they make the viewer do is
Yeah.
request
Yeah.
more information,
That's
and that's what Jay's gonna give him.
Okay.
Why are we here? How much do we
You know
want?
what, I've been finding that points 2 and 3 are almost identical. Can we just,
Mhm.
combine them and make that slide cleaner?
Yep. Oops.
And again, could we drop down the one?
That's nice.
It's gotta change to one. No, that's all right. Oh, you want it, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like we did with the other slide?
Yep.
Yeah.
The title line, you probably want to make a little bigger.
Go back to that one.
We want to do that number 2, it's got a double negative in it or whatever.
Town officials not properly advised of what costs.
We're not?
Well, cost per, yeah, you gotta take a nod on that. Very good.
And I think just turn it around, instead of were included, not properly advised of costs that were missing.
Yeah, or not included.
What do we do? We just,
And then at town meeting, you can give examples like, the OPM costs weren't built into that other budget. Things like that.
Okay, that's good.
5.18
So when is Tony and
Jay.
we're gonna speak? That's what we gotta figure out.
I think he's gonna be there for questions.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna answer questions, so they're not gonna say
Yeah,
anything.
they are just gonna be there in case we need
I
to.
think they should be introduced, I think the committee should be introduced, and those two should be introduced.
So-
And,
All right, so you wanna introduce all members of the F.I.S.P committee,
I would think so,
okay? And then introduce Tony and John.
yeah. And then people say, then you can say,
Okay,
if
we're gonna
people
do that
have
at the
questions
beginning of the
before the presentation starts.
board presentation.
I
So,
think so.
That should be done by John.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So I'll do it.
And then you can recognize Jay to start the presentation.
Okay.
Or ask the moderator to recognize
Okay.
Jay too.
All right.
Yeah.
So we just do that, and we'll do a list of all the members.
Yeah.
And we'll, and then Tony and John. All right?
If anybody has any questions
Yeah.
for the architect of
Yeah.
the OPM, he's here.
He'll be there after, okay.
Just the part in parentheses, all 4 ed alternates. We need to have that in there.
Maybe,
We don't talk about all four, we usually
Instead
just
of-
talk about a few.
Instead of add alternate.
Just put alternates. Yeah.
Just alternate.
take out the parentheses, you're right,
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah.
Also,
I think on the left-hand side, right, Raj? Is that-
just alternate,
Yeah,
yeah.
alternates.
Just
But
alternate.
technically, they are
That's
add
fine.
Oh, they
alternates.
are, okay,
That is the technical term for them, add alternates.
okay.
And we stopped mentioning the alternate for the floors that make the floors more easily maintained.
Epoxy, he talks about that
He
today.
talks about,
Huh?
He talks about that, the epoxy.
Well, you're talking about the epoxy in the cells, right? We also, one of the alternates is
The vinyl.
the vinyl on the floors, which cuts down on maintenance
That's
costs.
something, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
you wanna put, you always say it, Jay, so do you wanna just put based on low qualified bidder? Because everybody, people always say, do you always just go with the,
Yep, you can take that right out.
And with the, someone said there was a good point about, all the bidders within a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
So that should be somewhere on the slide, maybe.
I wouldn't put it on. I just-
This slide's already
We gotta
pretty
keep, I
crowded.
think we gotta keep the presentation, it can't go half an hour.
So just talk about it,
Right.
if somebody asks,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I thought it was very effective today, the way he
Yeah.
talked about they would win $100,000, which made the architect estimates,
That much better.
yeah.
Validated them.
I don't think there's any issue with this slide.
Now, who's gonna be doing the finance slides on the day of town
Pat,
meeting?
right?
Pat.
I think Pat is.
It's just, this isn't, yeah, this is fine. That's fine.
Not changing things,
Yeah, if, go back a slide. Nowhere in this presentation is there a number as to what the new borrowing would be. Should we putting it in here so it dovetails with what's in the warrant?
You go back then. What do you mean?
Oh, the additional
The-
dollar amount?
The town's gonna vote on basically 2.3 million
Yeah.
Yeah.
increase in the debt exclusion.
Let me go get the motion because it
Okay.
has the dollar amount in it.
And,
Would it be appropriate to put in after town hall the remaining debt?
I was just gonna say that. That's
Great point.
a great idea because we paid down almost $1.2 million so far. Or will be by 18, right? Is that what it is?
18, that 860 includes.
That's for 18.
That's the
But it's still,
554.
it was a $2 million original debt, and it's down to, it will be down to 6.0 in fiscal 18.
After the 550 is taken out, right now it's 1.4 or something.
It's good, Bob.
It's gonna be less than that. We're not paying 540,000.
We've been told we're paying 554 is coming off of that, that's what brought it
No,
down. to
that's not
860.
correct. Of the debt that's on the ban, how much of that is, well, how much, what percentage of the 554 is that? So the 554 is the ban plus current debt.
No, it's just just the town hall. We met with her and she told
Just
us
the
that
town
that's what
hall.
was coming off.
Right. There's other debt that we have that's not reflected in these numbers.
Correct.
We have debt for the library. We have some
So
few
these are,
years of debt for one of the school projects that's still there. But this is only dealing with numbers associated with the town hall debt and then the police station debt. So that 554 will be the temporary notes that we're still holding on the town hall and the temporary notes that we'll be taking in for the construction of the police station. But the permanent borrowing for both then becomes the 513,949.
And the school will be off in 19.
So you want to
Finishes
figure
in
what's gonna be off in 19? Is that what you're saying?
no.
This is not the only debt the town is currently holding.
I have the spreadsheet.
These numbers only deal with the debt regarding the permanent borrowing that we're gonna be doing once construction's completed. So part of it is, on the 554, it's gonna be the temporary notes, the bans, for both town hall and the police station. I mean, it would be, I think it would be confusing to give people
Yeah.
other numbers on other debt we currently have, because that's not gonna impact their tax bills.
And
That's
the
already there
103
in their
is
tax
just, the 103, we talk about the average, and the calculator on the website, it only talks about the $6 million for
Correct.
the police station
Right.
in the town hall.
But there is other debt that the town is holding, and some of that luckily will be off the books in a few years, which will provide more capacity for the town to do other projects. So the number that we have in the motion is $2,286,460. So that's the actual amount that they'll be voting on Monday night.
So what if a slide after this, it basically says original borrowing 2.9, current estimate 5.186, original borrowing 2.9, to be authorized at this meeting 2.286.
You wanna put it on this slide?
Well, I think this presentation, and then that will go up on the screen after the warrant. She'll put the warrant article when we vote. So,
But I agree, though, it wouldn't hurt to just
Yeah,
have
but-
this number be reflected in
Put
the
it on the
slide.
third bullet here instead of that. Yeah, make it the third bullet.
Right after the current budget?
Yeah.
Seeking authorization for an additional 2.286, 460.
But you know what, I kind of like the concept of having it be on its own slide that shows the math. It'll make it very clear to people.
And it won't get lost.
Well, we could just reformat this. Current project budget, 5.186. Prior authorizations,
True, yeah, we could
2.9.
do that. Instead of
So
have-
take the
instead-
top one off of me? Thursday?
So instead of having it be the two bullets, have it say, new total project cost, 5.196,460.
I'd say revised total project cost.
Revised, okay.
Yes. You don't have to say new.
Here's what?
Just put
The
revised.
five-
just revise, take out the no.
You're testing your typing skills, Jay.
Good luck with that.
On
Especially when
TV.
10 people are telling
Nice project.
you. When you got 10 people telling you what to do.
5, 1, 8, 6, 460.
And then,
Prior authorization?
Yeah.
Yeah.
good, yeah, prior authorization, yeah, 2.9.
I like
Capital,
that.
capital, Jeff.
I don't look when I type, come on.
It's okay for you to open your eyes.
Okay, and then if you could push the numbers over a little bit so they're under the 5.186.
Yep. There's no more like that.
Tab them, yeah, okay. Good.
Nope, the other one more.
No, that one should be good.
And so instead of this third bullet, we're going to say, amount being requested
Right.
tonight. Or something.
No?
Oh,
No, no.
Take out the third, yeah, leave that one there.
The current
The
project
third bullet.
budget, that one.
Take that out, the whole thing.
And now you want to say what?
How do you want to word it? Tonight's requested amount?
Additional authorization requested?
Yeah, additional, you gotta say additional something, additional.
MOD.
Two Ds.
Yeah.
How about just additional authorization?
Yeah.
I was just thinking.
Take out, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can just.
Yeah, that sort of implies it's a foregone conclusion, that's good.
So it's 2,286,460.
Now, that does add up to,
Yeah, someone check your math.
Yeah.
For formatting, you want to put a line under the 2.9 million and put a minus sign in front of it?
Yeah, right Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
So, but Pat will still, though, need to be clear that, that this $103 per year is,
The total.
the total, on the total, not
Correct.
just on
For both projects, for the town hall, right here, you know.
It's on the next slide.
I think he says it, but it's both projects.
So none of this changes.
I think this slide can stay, but briefly.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing we had stopped mentioning, and that is, the fact that the town's already existing contracts can sometimes be lower than what it would cost the contracting firm, the construction firm,
because there's no markup.
yeah, because there's
We
no
got great-
markup.
We got great prices on our contracts, like our paving contract, our per ton rate is very low. So we would get a much better, much lower cost on the paving using our paving contract instead of having the general contractor do it.
If the general contractor does it, he has to pay, we have to pay him for markup
Right.
and a higher cost.
So you put town departments, in their, what, in their,
I would just say it. I don't think, it's a lot of words here to read anyway, so if Jay just, it's again,
I usually briefly talk about, we use their existing contract, I don't get into, because at first, you guys wanted not to talk about.
You say use their existing contracts, which are a much lower price.
Okay.
Can we,
Can we go back to this line, just so we're all clear, the 103 is not based on the 6 million. It's just based on the 5.186.
no, that's not what's been said.
That's
We
what
need
I
Pat to
said at the
clarify
last
that.
No,
meeting.
that's the 6 million.
No, it's
That's
not.
what you said.
I've got the numbers right here.
it's on, you're right, it's on the 5.186 because that's the schedule that came from the bond advisor.
Okay, well, why don't we'll take a look at it.
his amount coming for the police station only.
Mhm.
For this 5.186.
This project will
Right.
cost.
Yeah,
Right.
which is what.
Gee, the bottom bullet needs to be moved up one,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
I'm trying to fix it on this now.
So maybe for the debt exclusion for this project? I don't know.
Yeah, Jay, you gotta go up. You don't wanna grab the corner. You wanna grab the line.
But then it takes it off the, it brings it down.
Do we need to make
I think I
the,
just need to make these small.
yeah,
Yeah, that works.
That's perfect, perfect,
Yeah.
right there, Jay.
yeah.
And now the 2 million number is one step out of line
Yep.
because of the minus sign. Can you do anything about that? If you can't, I wouldn't
No,
say it's a big
that's
deal.
good. It's,
I'll figure it out.
that's good. Don't even bother.
Watch this, I got a special trick.
Good.
Still on
Yeah, it's fine.
Close enough. Does it look right to have bullets there, or would it look better without the bullets?
I think it looks perfect, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's telling people that these are the three things, look at them, yeah, I think it's good.
So should we put the debt exclusion for this project, or
No, I leave it.
just leave it where it is?
Because that's all you're talking about is this one project on this one slide.
Well, the next slide,
No,
though,
next
the next
slide
slide
is-
is confusing to me
Oh.
already, because the next slide
What's,
shows $6 million borrowing, and it's the 554. And we were told that the 554,
Includes,
the 103, yeah.
we
So-
need to have to
So
clarify,
why don't we clarify it,
because,
clarify it before.
but the 103 is just for the town hall costs.
So
Excuse me,
what
just
is
for
the
the police
question here
station
to be
costs.
clarified?
The,
What's the borrowing, what's the,
We're not borrowing
what's
six-
the amount for the 6 million then?
the $103 is not for the $6 million, it's for the
Right.
500 and,
That's why it's on the prior slide.
5.186. Just want to make sure it's clear to everybody. Is everything, go back one, please.
Pat will he'll clarify when he speaks about it.
Okay,
Someone needs to mention it to him.
yeah.
One of the things that I was asked to change on the Q&A was to change the word conceptual plans from LINIC to preliminary plans.
Yeah.
We're still using the term conceptual plans on this slide. We want to change it
No,
on
we
this
changed
as
it,
well.
we changed it on the slide today.
I don't think it's on this one, Chris. Which-
No, it's not here, it's further, yeah.
On this slide, why are we here?
We changed it today, for today's presentation.
We took it out when we did the,
Oh, we took that line out.
Right.
It's fine.
But we talked about it.
Yeah.
Preliminary.
Preliminary. So everything else on this one was all right?
I think here you say that the OPM has lengthy experience, then the next slide you talk again about it. You don't have to, there's another part that you talk about.
Yeah, we can get rid of that, because I.
You
talked
say,
about
you
that.
say it when you list the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's another slide that you talk about,
At the
Tony.
beginning.
The first
Yeah.
slide.
Can you go back? Isn't our main objective with number 2 to save money and not eliminate site concerns for the bidders?
How about if we just put comma as well as a cost savings to the town?
Well, the reason why it is a cost savings is because they know, when they were developing their bids, they knew that they were coming to a site that was ready, so they would reflect that in their pricing. How do we?
So couldn't we say bidders, comma, potentially reducing costs?
Where would you put that, Phil?
Or resulting in lower bid prices?
Yeah, no, there you go. Potentially resulting in lower bid price.
At the end of bidders, you're saying that?
Yeah, comma,
And what wording do you want?
potentially reducing bid prices,
No, cost.
bid costs.
What's he thinking about?
Oh,
How do I-
lady grabbed me on my marijuana laws.
It's only 1 o'clock.
I would just say cost, because bids are already done.
Right, it's
We're
in the
not,
wrong
we can't
place.
change the bid,
Yeah.
so just reducing cost.
Yeah.
Take out bid. Because we're not bidding anymore, we've got this project.
Yeah.
Period,
Good?
period, yep.
Do we want the word potentially in there? Because this is now in the past tense.
Have you seen this?
Well, we don't know,
Probably.
I got no problem taking that out, right? But we don't know what the actual reduced costs are gonna be yet.
We don't, because remember they budgeted $400,000, we don't know what it's gonna actually cost us.
And
Yeah.
there might be some situations where it might be cheaper to go with the contractor in these, and then Tony
Yeah.
brought that up. He said, when they're there, they might do something as cheap, and then we'll just stick with the contractor.
Can we go back to this slide? I just want to make sure that we, Ray had asked that we change the term temporary note to something else.
Temporary bond, right?
Now, if I was mistaken, what I was saying before, this is fine, as is.
Okay,
Based on what I had understood, this was not just temporary notes, but also included other debt. That's not correct, it's fine as is.
The pictures, we're just gonna leave, because we're not gonna spend a lot of time on it.
That's fine, this slide I think is good.
Take the questions out.
No, that's fine, leave
Yeah.
questions.
that's good.
Did you take out the slide that showed town meeting? I mean, the vote, though?
Oh, yeah,
You
we
took
put the
out the
vote
one.
in there, yeah.
You didn't take out the one that took out the vote.
Oh, yeah, the reminder for,
I'll get that.
Yeah.
make sure you go to the special election.
Just copy that slide.
So just take out the,
Copy that slide,
Yeah,
sorry.
copy the slide.
Yeah, take the whole slide over.
Copy.
No, you don't
No,
want
no,
to do
no.
that.
Stand back, someone knows how to do this better than me.
So on the left column, select the slide,
Yeah.
right-click, copy.
Copy.
And go back to the other one and put it where you want to put it. go to, you need that right, you need that.
Like, make this, this guy over. Next one, next one. Yeah. Uh-huh. So, wherever you want to put it, paste it.
Just before the questions.
Maybe put that and
This is
then.
before the questions, right?
Yes, definitely.
So 50 would turn into 15. So I'm gonna add a slide.
Just go, just, go back and just put, yeah.
Or just click on this one. Huh?
There it is.
Okay.
Just go under questions and put,
Yeah, under questions.
under
Paste.
questions, and you
No,
can
no,
move
Here,
it,
here,
right there.
no, down, paste
Down,
it.
right there, and then
Right
put
click,
paste,
paste.
and now move it up one.
Drag it back, yeah.
Chief, can I go to computer school?
Right there. And then that.
It's not in the budget.
So we're gonna get rid of the
You gotta
town.
take that, because it's already there.
And then that'll
We've
move it
already
up.
been just doing this.
That's
So you
perfect.
make special bigger, can you do that? Special time?
Yeah.
Chris, yours
Right,
is different.
over to the right, over to the right, yeah, right there. Yeah, go up to, yeah, that's fine. Perfect. That won't even see, you won't even see that on the thing, doesn't even.
Will I fit on that?
Yeah, sure, it's
I'll fit
perfect.
on that.
Yeah, that's why you don't even have to move it.
You can fix it.
Oh, let's go, that's perfect.
On the slide prior to that, Jay, did you mean to have the bolded, that 8%?
I think they did.
Yeah, I think he bolded it.
Yeah.
Jay, yeah.
Yeah.
Just go to view, Jay, and we'll just go right through it. View slide presentation, down one, right there. There we go.
Is the fifth bullet there a different font?
I think it's
Different
bold.
size?
It is-
Did you want to emphasize that point, or is that?
I think it's just bolded, Jay. Might be
I
bolded.
think it is bigger.
Yeah, that's big. This is 31 and these are 26.
Enter.
Yeah. It's bolded too, I think, maybe, is it? No, it's still, it's still 31, Jay.
There itself enter.
No, just enter. There you go.
There it is.
But the
You-
number is also still big.
Just highlight the,
You didn't pick up the.
The number 5?
oh my God, that's beautiful, Jay.
Never the signs.
Now your dot's still 31 points.
We should,
Swear to God.
right. Let Dennis fix that later.
You better save it again.
I just did.
Oh, good.
All right.
Those numbers, some of them are bolded and not.
Those look small compared to.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
can't fit on the
So
screen.
many.
Yeah, that's good.
If you want the figures to be a little bit bigger, we can eliminate one of the lines of the soft costs. They're just examples, so I don't know you necessarily need to have them all in there.
We've added those because the question came up probably at 3 meetings.
Can we couple of them? Yeah.
So you could just do comma, comma, and just have them across the page.
Gotta remember, this is small here. Town meeting, this is gonna be 3 times. She's on the big screen at town
But
meeting.
it's gonna look like this.
Jay, are
Doesn't
some of
matter
the,
what projector you're on.
are some of those numbers bolded and others
That's
not?
the look at.
They are.
Oh,
I'm just moving along because then I can put those in the,
Jay, I would have kept
Maybe
them,
too
I
hard
would
to
have kept
read.
them and just
Too
slid
hard
the
to
whole
read.
thing over.
Too hard to read.
Kept them, slide them over. You know, and now just take your mouse and just slide it till, so you center it a little bit, I'm thinking. You want to center that on the project
The entire
breakdown.
thing, entire thing,
Yeah.
with the text.
You can just slide the box over on the project breakdown. So it's centered, because we're underneath, no, the one below it. Right. Okay, click that screen. Down, yeah, and now go over to the left. Down, right there. Yeah, I think it should center it.
Want to move it to the right?
Yeah, try it.
Let's see what it looks
Try
like.
it.
That won't do what he's trying to
Yeah, perfect.
do. You wanted to move the numbers over so you could,
You
Move
want to
that
move the
cost.
numbers so you can take some of these other, which will make it a bigger slide.
If we take out the third bullet under other soft costs and just have 2 examples,
Yeah.
let's see
Yeah.
what that does to the font size.
No, now just raise the, now just highlight it all and raise the font size. See what happens. You're gonna get a few out of it. We can go to the 31.
18, yeah.
Should the add alternates be up underneath the construction costs?
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I don't,
Because it is part of a construction cost. It's
But-
just,
I mean,
These just don't line up really
either
well.
way, it's a breakdown. I mean, I don't,
if you justify them to a tab, you'll get them to line up on the left, if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Looks like there might be some spaces buried in the first 2 before the dollar signs. Yeah. If one to move over, you just gonna delete the space.
Sam,
go to the top
yeah,
one.
I got you.
Let's do, there you go.
Excellent. Perfect, save.
Chief, I think I'd rather get tased.
Anita, did you feel that alternate cost should be up directly underneath?
I think it would be better, it would, because it definitely is a construction cost, so it should be there right next to site utilities, which is also a construction cost.
So, right on the site utilities?
Yep. And then take it out from down below.
Oh, I thought I... My bad.
Perfect.
You want to highlight and bold the total?
Mm-hmm.
Highlight it, you said?
That's good.
Well, yeah, yeah.
That's good.
Oh, I got you.
Yep.
Does look
That
better.
looks good.
It's good, 'cause you just took 10 years off my life.
Only 10?
Only had 12 left.
Good,
That was
Make
good
sure
like
you
that,
say
yeah.
it again after that
That
one.
was good.
good.
I don't think you need the .00 under the 415.
Yeah.
And also, do we need the slash?
It has been helpful to have that be part of it during the info
Yep.
meetings, because people want to know that, you know, we are not just looking at just this project, there's other projects that are
I
For
think,
cons-
I'm sorry, go.
For consistency's sake, the town logo is missing from slide 15.
Yeah,
That's all right.
I will put it back.
Remember, Jay has a taser.
That's what I know how to do.
Copy,
Boom,
go to that.
boom, paste. Drag it right up there before.
And Jay, just to go back one slide.
Which way there is, push me.
Oh, you're right, you just click it, yeah.
Have you had enough yet?
Hot and long-range facility plans for municipal buildings. I'd say it started with the town hall and now, because that was all part of it. When you do say it. It started with the town hall and now we have future
Right.
projects. This is, you know, how it,
Good point.
then you say it from there, it's fine, you say your phase it from there.
So you guys are gonna have to talk in my ear, I'll wear an earpiece, you can, Jay, you forgot to say this.
No, we're gonna kick you if it takes 45 minutes though, because everybody in the room will be, Did you name this town meeting, so you
It's
have
town
it?
meeting, yeah. You're gonna need to save it on yours, because it's on my phone.
And we'll do it when we're done.
You good?
Everybody good? Any other questions on that?
So just run through again, so when, you're moving the question, it'll get seconded, then the moderator will ask for any explanations or information, and then,
I'm gonna introduce the members of FISP, and Tony DeLucio and, John, as well as McMillan.
So what we're
Skip
doing,
that.
we're gonna do the motion. He's gonna read the motion first.
yeah, it'll get moved
And
and
then under
seconded.
presentation or
Yeah.
more information, that's when everything
Right.
starts.
So you'll introduce F.I.S.P., introduce Tony DeLuzio, John McMillan, and then ask the moderator to recognize Jay to come up and do the presentation.
And I think we can, I'd like to thank all the residents that came to our information meetings tonight. And today I'd like to thank them. But I'd also at town meeting, you should
Right.
probably say we had a number of
Yeah.
informational meetings. And would like to thank all the residents that were able to. come
Except
to the
one.
meetings. All the residents that came to the meetings. There were
Right.
Close to 100 residents came
Right.
out.
Exactly.
But I'd like to thank all the residents right now that came out and asked all the questions that helped us
Exactly.
put this together for
Now,
town meeting.
will there be questions from the citizens
Oh, yeah.
as part of this?
Yeah, at the end of this, we're gonna have questions. The last slide says questions.
And after all those questions,
Then the
then
vote.
somebody will move,
Well, the moderator
Yeah.
handles it. Once he
Yeah,
makes
the
the
mod-
motion and it's seconded, the moderator handles the questions, everything goes through him. Then he finally says,
Right.
okay, I've heard enough.
yeah.
Half a
I'm
vote.
gonna move forward. And then he might say something like, okay, if anybody hasn't made up their mind and has another question, come up and ask it. Don't ask,
Right.
don't keep coming and asking.
Now,
He'll control that.
I had figured that it was going to be like in the past, that I would be in the audience. And I was going to go to the microphone, but to support.
Yeah,
But I don't want to be disruptive if we're all sitting up front.
No, we're not gonna, we
No,
can.
we're not gonna sit up front.
Let's just say wherever you want.
The introduction, yeah, it's just gonna be an introduction.
Oh, so I might be in the
You
audience?
can sit, yeah. Sit in the back.
I'm just gonna recognize the names.
Ah. Can I read this so that I can make sure that what I'm planning to say is going to be proper? Huh?
You are on TV too.
Tim,
You are on live.
Oh, I don't want to,
Duplicate again.
You're gonna give away your-
let me put it this way then. I was going to emphasize the fact that I had a little bit of a unique perspective because it wasn't there for the original vote.
Okay.
Right, and I came on afterwards and observed the diligence and the work that was done to bring us to this point.
I think that's gonna be very helpful at town meeting.
And I will look for the proper point to do it.
Yeah. Now, when he says, for people, residents come up and questions and stuff like that, would be a perfect time to do it.
Usually has people walk up to the mic
Right.
and line up at the mic.
Right.
Definitely there will be comments, lot of comments.
Yeah. Mine will probably be last.
Does anybody else have any questions on this?
Looks good.
Anybody happy?
Oh,
Presentation
yeah.
solid.
All right.
Nice work, everyone.
Open the bids. You said lot of, couple of bids.
Oh, yeah, we have the budget stuff, we went through.
Couple of bids getting rolled, son's birthday.
Okay.
Thanks, Chief, appreciate you coming.
See you Monday.
Couple of bids.
Yeah, we got a couple bills to do, right?
Yeah, I actually should have handed these up before we started. Should be enough for everybody to know. We have two bills. One is the
Todd?
permanent inspection for the period of September, month of September, $5,850.
Move to approve.
Second?
Any discussion on Cardinal? All in favor?
And the second one is for, this is one that we had looked at last time. Tony wanted us to delay voting on it because he wanted to ensure that it wasn't a duplicate bill.
Right.
Soil testing, this one.
So this is the Reinhardt Associates bill for $4,620. And Tony did say, yes, it does need to be paid. It's an appropriate bill.
So moved.
Question, what is AE markup?
A&E markup, so they, because it's going through Reinhardt, they put a 10% markup on the work that, for the subcontractor.
I think A&E stands for architect and engineer.
That's why the whole thing about us doing the site work and stuff like that, that's why we're gonna save the money. All right, any discussion on this bill? All in favor?
So these are to move them to the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, recommend, yep.
And then, anything else?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Thank you.